On the dark streets of Abuja in June 2005, 6 young lives were brutally cut short. Not by criminals, not by terrorists, but by the very people sworn to protect them, the police. This is the chilling story of the Apo 6 killings. A story of brutality, lies, and justice delayed. It was a Saturday night in Abuja, June 7th, 2005. The streets hummed with life, music spilling from clubs, headlights gliding across the roads, and the smell of roasted suya rising in the warm night air. Inside a black Opel car, 6 friends laughed as they drove through the bustling city. Their names would later become symbols of tragedy. Ifeanyi Ozo, Chinedu Meniru, Ekene Izikinbe, Paulinus Ogbonna, Anthony Nwokike, and a young woman, Augustina Arebon, the only rose among 5 thorns of youth. They were not criminals. They were not robbers. They were ordinary young Nigerians, students and hustlers who just wanted to escape the stress of daily life. That night, their laughter echoed like freedom. Their future stretched out before them, dreams of love, family, careers. But destiny had written a cruel twist. As they left a nightclub near Gaki, the car was filled with music, high-life rhythms thumping from the speakers. Augustina, her hair catching the glow of passing headlights, teased the boys with playful jokes. Ifeanyi, behind the wheel, cracked a smile, his eyes dancing in the rearview mirror. They had no idea, no single clue, that their final journey had begun. 6 young hearts, 6 bright lights, 1 night of fun. In just a few hours, all of it would be extinguished. The Opel rolled into the quiet stretch of Apo, headlights piercing the night. The music in the car softened, their laughter fading as they spotted something up ahead. A line of policemen at a checkpoint, guns slung across shoulders, torchlight sweeping the darkness like predators' eyes. For many Nigerians, the sight of police at night brings not safety, but fear. The 6 friends stiffened in their seats. Augustina whispered nervously, "Let's just cooperate."
It's just a routine check.
Ifeanyi slowed the car, his hands firm on the wheel. The checkpoint loomed larger. The car came to a stop. Torchlight blazed into their eyes. A harsh voice cut through the night. "Who na be? Where una dey go?" The young men answered politely, their voices trembling with respect. But the policemen weren't satisfied. They circled the car like hungry wolves. One officer pointed at them and muttered, "Armed robbers. I swear these ones no clean." Another cocked his rifle casually, the metallic sound sharp against the silence. Augustina leaned forward, her voice desperate. "We are students. We are innocent. Please, we've done nothing." But her pleas bounced off cold hearts. That was the moment when the night changed. This was no longer a routine check. This was a trap. The officers were not looking for truth. They were looking for prey. And the prey had just been caught. The night stood still, heavy with silence. 6 young souls sat frozen in fear, trapped under the cold glare of police torchlights. A single command sliced the air. "Move them!" The officers shoved the car forward. Their rifles hung ready, fingers itching against triggers. And then, it happened. Without warning, thunder. Gunfire cracked through the night like lightning tearing the heavens. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat.
We are
Muzzle
innocent.
flashes lit the darkness. turning the road into a war zone. Bullets punched through metal, shattering glass, ripping into flesh. The Opel shook violently under the storm of death. Inside the car, screams, "Jesus! Jesus!" Augustina's cries pierced the night before her voice was swallowed by gunfire. Ifeanyi's hands jerked on the steering wheel as bullets tore through his chest. Chinedu tried to shield himself, his arms raised in vain. Ekene slumped forward, blood soaking his shirt. One by one, the laughter of earlier hours was replaced by death's cruel silence. The attack lasted less than a minute, but felt like an eternity. And when the smoke cleared, when the echo of bullets died into the night, 6 innocent young Nigerians lay lifeless, their bodies twisted, blood dripping onto the dusty Abuja road. The car was no longer a vehicle. It was a coffin. 6 children of Nigeria executed in cold blood. No trial, no evidence, no mercy. Only bullets. But the tragedy did not end there, because after the killings came the lies. The car was quiet now. 6 bodies slumped in death. The air reeked of blood and gunpowder, but the policemen did not tremble. They did not panic. Instead, they whispered among themselves, plotting, because they knew they had just committed a crime too heavy to hide. And so, under the cover of night, the cover-up began. The officers dragged the lifeless bodies like sacks of meat, throwing them carelessly onto the road. They searched the Opel, not for evidence, but for props. And when they found none, they planted guns inside. A pistol here, a rifle there. Anything to paint the dead as armed robbers. Anything to turn murder into a heroic police operation. By morning, the headlines were ready. Bold letters screamed, "Police kill 6 armed robbers in Abuja." The dead were stripped of their dignity, their names replaced by lies. But the truth had not died with them. It lingered, in whispers, in the tears of mothers, in the rage of a nation.
Justice for Apple 6. Stop police brutality.
Families wept in disbelief. Robbers, they cried. Our children were no robbers. They were students. They were innocent. The truth clashed with the lies. And for the first time, the cracks in the cover-up began to show. Witnesses came forward. Residents who heard the gunfire. People who saw the checkpoint. Whispers of planted weapons.